and welcome back to the Sidewalk Report. This episode is on veteran services, and this is episode 2. And today we are going to discuss more about veteran services in our area, Lawrence County. And we have several great organizations represented. We have Kathy from the VFW.
Auxiliary.
Yep, auxiliary. And then we have Jesse from Lawrence County, VA. We have Ashton Critchlow from the Civil Air Patrol, which is something, if you missed the last episode, look it up on our YouTube channel because we learned a lot from Ashton. I mean, I really didn't know anything about that. I'm embarrassed. But thank you for enlightening us. We'll hear more from you now. And then we have Hugh Coryea from Veterans Agent Orange Veterans Project. And so we talked a little bit during the break about different things that people wouldn't know about the respective organizations and about some of the stereotypes or myths or whatever you like to call it that about different organizations. And what we're going to do now for some of this discussion, but then we're going to do a little bit of myth busting, and we are going to do sort of enlightening and just to try to tell people, some of the story that they might not know. So, since Maggie has abdicated her throne and quieter, I think that means that Kathy can take up her talk time as well as your own talk time and give us the true story and different points that we might not know about the VFW.
Well, I know more on the auxiliary side.
Correct.
And that's okay. That's okay. A lot of people do. And we do a lot of different fundraisers for the auxiliary to help our veterans. And we sell coffees in May. And then there's times we might do maybe a hoagie fundraiser, and we buy candy bars to sell in the Post, and we have done a fundraiser doing beef sticks, which we also have that they can sell in the Post, and all of the proceeds help our veterans for whatever they may need. And we also do
well, I think one thing that we spoke about, which I didn't realize, is that the VFW auxiliary is not strictly women.
No, it is not. We do have men. It used to be at one time. It was called the Women's Auxiliary. It is not no more. We have a lot of men that are members, and there's a lot of men that do a lot of work. In fact, my husband is my senior vice of the auxiliary right now. So, I mean, we do a lot for that, and we need members to become members of the auxiliary, which also helps financially, because the more members we have, the more money that the state and national auxiliaries sends to our local auxiliary, to which we can use that money to help our veterans as well. So, I mean, if you're able to join and you can't come to meetings, that's fine. You're still going to help the veterans by being a member.
Now, curious fact that I learned, Pennsylvania, we are number 3 in the country for veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially, it seems to be mostly concentrated in Western PA.
Yeah. Yes, Allegheny County is our largest county of veteran population.
Okay, and so are there other thoughts that you'd like to add about the VFW auxiliary?
Well, we do this with the children too. Like when we put flags on our graves. We take care of a couple cemeteries. We do it for Memorial Day. So we encourage young kids, young teenagers to come and help us, so they can learn about what these men and women gave up for our country, for our freedom. And I take 2 of my great nieces with me, and they had a blast. They really enjoyed it, and they were got home and they kept putting them flags on. They just loved it. The kids today don't fully understand, I don't think.
Well, I don't, war, at least recently, war has, been something that's on a TV channel or something, and you can just turn the channel or you can just click away and things like that.
Didn't hit them personally.
Whereas, during Vietnam, they said that, everybody knew somebody who had a family member.
Unfortunately, yes.
Right, and so right now I think we're a little bit more detached from that.
Right.
And, but it's good to, keep remembering that, because especially, where we are right now, but it's just good to, keep remembering that and keep it in our mind, because just because you can click away from something now,
It's still there.
yeah.
And these men and women gave up so much for our freedom to do what we want to do nowadays.
Yeah.
And I want my youngsters in my life, my nieces and nephews, to realize just what the price is. Freedom is not free, and we need to give back to those who gave so much. And that's what the auxiliary is all about: giving back to those who gave the ultimate price and their families.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I do. I thank everybody that does help the auxiliary to achieve these goals. Our church has done a lot. Our church actually came up with a lot of the liquid soap. Actually, all the liquid soap I took over to them, over to Father, came from our church. Our congregation stepped up, and there was a lot. There was a lot of soap.
And that was for the veterans nursing home.
Yes, yes, the nursing home for the VA hospital and other. Yes.
Okay. And if people can maybe reach out to the Veterans Hospital in Butler and find out if they have any pressing needs or stuff and other.
I'm sure they could call. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it would help. Yes.
Sure.
And the VA also has a homeless team. And they're always looking for certain items as well for the homeless team. When they encounter a homeless veteran, they have bags or something they can hand out. So contact the Butler VA is a good way. They do have a volunteer services department. So that'd be the best way to get a hold of Butler VA for that. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good, because I know for a lot of us, these are just things that we see on the news and just things that we, see on TV or see online or something. And I know so many people do have the impulse to want to help.
Right.
And so, introducing them to you all so that people would know, if I go to the VFW and join the auxiliary, I can meet Kathy, or else I can go to the stand and speak with Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get to know you folks on a personal basis, and Hugh and Ashton, they'll get to know how to participate and how to help and be involved.
Right. They can always actually even call the VFW too, to get a hold of me and leave a message for me, or even bring in any donations they may want to help with the veterans. They always need something.
We have a box out right for the stand down. We have a donation box on the stage. So people are always, they're welcome to just stop in. You just have to ring the buzzer, we'll let you in, and you can donate. We have a box on the stage. And it will go to local veterans for the stand down right now.
That's excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really great, because people, there's so many good people in our community, and they want to help, and they want to be a part of something, but we here at Cast Thousands here at Sidewalk Report, we want to help spread the word on how people can help and how people can be part of that.
I don't think a lot of people realize just what it was all about. It's not just canting.
Oh,
There's a lot to the VFW and the auxiliary, and the veterans are the top priority.
And I think that goes back to what you mentioned on our first podcast. Although we are very close, I think we are close to family. We also recognize if there's something going on with one of our family members, our local veterans, we reach out to. Because sometimes it's easier for a veteran to talk to another veteran or a spouse to talk to another spouse who understands that a little bit more than maybe a crisis team who maybe or may not be a veteran. So a lot of times we help each other out in that way as well. So we are definitely memberships. You don't have to be a veteran to be a regular member. Now for us, like my husband is a commander, as I mentioned, but to be a regular member, you had to serve overseas. And there's a list, and my husband can go over that. But you can be a social member. You don't have to. You can, if you still want to support, you can be a social member. Our American Legions, I have to say, we have wonderful American Legions in this area too. We have 3 of them that are very active. You can join them as well to be auxiliaries, or just if you didn't serve during wartime, you can still join them as well. But as regular members, we can sign in people. You don't have to be a member. Just if you want to see how it is, we can sign you in. That's not a problem.
And as well as even joining the auxiliary, you don't have to have served in the service yourself. I actually joined as a regular auxiliary member, not a regular military member. I joined under my brother's military records. He served in Vietnam. He was in Vietnam, so I was able to join the auxiliary under his military records. So if you have a member of your family, like a father, grandfather, grandmother, mother, father, brother, sister, you can join, or even a spouse, you can join an auxiliary under their military record.
That's great.
As long as it was a foreign war that they were in.
Okay, that's excellent. Now, Ashton, we were talking all things before in episode 1, and we got a little curious as how did you hear about Civil Air Patrol, and what made you decide to join at 12? That is really something.
So actually, I heard about it because my older brother was in the program, and like any other younger brother, I want to be like my older brother. So I joined the program, and he was in for a little while, but he wasn't in it like his senior year. I'm not sure about his junior year, but I absolutely fell in love with the program, and I've just been in it since middle school and about to graduate high school, and I'm still in it.
So then, what does the future hold for Ashton after graduation? Have you given that any thought?
I'm actually in LCCTC for cosmetology, and after I get out of school, I plan to go get my apprenticeship and become a barber.
Huh. So will you still fly? Do you think you may get your pilot's license, or will you still maintain involvement?
That's actually a really good thing to mention. There's so many different opportunities where you can get your pilot's license through Civil Air Patrol, like National Flight Academies. There's multiple scholarships that they offer, like Cadet Wings, where you can apply, get into it, and get your private pilot's license paid for. So you won't have to pay for any of the education it takes to get your private pilot's license.
And speaking of scholarships, I didn't want to forget, Kathy, that could you tell us a bit about these scholarships?
Yeah, we have a program through the auxiliary that the kids in the local schools can write essays, and then they choose 2 or 3 to choose from, and then one child gets a scholarship. I think it's $1,000.
Wow.
Toward their education. Yeah.
It's called the Voice of Democracy. And if anybody's interested in it, you can reach out to your counselor at school. They know all about it.
Yes, that's right. I did forget that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, so we're kind of finishing each other's sentences here today, which is good.
She knows.
We work so well together. We have like a work family, how we
yes.
Regular members. Yep, we can bounce off each other.
That's right.
Yeah, I think in other circles it would be called psychic.
Yes.
Yeah, but they.
So that might be there too.
But it's not a conspiracy. They know each other. They're not texting under the table.
No, we actually work very close together. You know,
it's really great. We help each other.
We have fun together.
We do. We just had our picnic on yesterday.
Yeah,
we had our gift.
That's awesome. And so for Hugh, how does the nomination process go for someone to get pinned?
You don't have to be nominated to get a pin. Family members call me, or we have pinning ceremonies at the. We just had one Sunday with Randy Crumbs, and he let me. I had the honor of doing the military part of it, of the ceremony, and we invited. Mayor Longo. He was in Afghanistan then. We had the honor of pinning him. He did the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we had a young lady sing the national anthem that has a great voice. I met her a couple years back when we had the ceremony honoring our great veterans, and that's when we had Senator Mike Kelly come in.
Huh.
Or no, I take it back. Doug Mastriano. We Doug Mastriano speak, and a lot of people said, there's no way you're going to get here in Newcastle. And I says, don't ever tell me you will never do it, because I'll make sure that we get done what we get done. And so we brought him in. Then we also do, we had a weekend getaway last year down at Pine Valley Camp. We had over 30 veterans show up. It was paid for by our generous volunteers, or not volunteers, our corporate sponsors. I have 7 unions from the carpentry, masonry, electrical that back me up, back our organization up. My dad belongs to the Masonic organization, and we get them. I got checks from the Masonic organizations all over the United States for this trip coming up. So I do have a lot of supporters and a lot of people back me up. When I go into these restaurants that I serviced over the years, they always say, they call me Wiz, what do you need now? What kind of food do you want? I don't even have to ask. When they find out that I'm doing something, they call me.
Well, we do, like I said, we do have a very generous community that is very supportive of the veterans.
Yes.
And, that is really great that people, even who don't have that connection, who didn't grow up in an Army family and stuff, have that appreciation and respect.
Yeah. And how the organization started, how I started with, we started 10 years ago, and it was in honor of my dad. My dad's still alive. He was a Vietnam vet. He was stationed in Chu Chi. It was the most sprayed area of Agent Orange.
Now, for the other generations that don't know what Agent Orange is, do you know what Agent Orange is? I'm not going to put you on the spot here.
Not entirely. I know it's related to service in Vietnam and the soldiers that we're going to put out there.
Yeah, I don't entirely know myself, so don't feel bad. I'm not picking on you. But I think if you can go
Agent Orange was sprayed in Vietnam because a lot of the Vietnamese used to hide in trees, and they sprayed it to kill the vegetation. But it also caused different things to our military guys over there. Like my dad, he probably has 7 different things caused of Agent Orange. He has skin cancer, he has diabetes, he has philopathy of the feet, he can't feel his feet. He has diabetes, and there was over, I can't remember, but everybody thinks there's one chemical just sprayed Agent Orange. There was different colors of Agent Orange sprayed in Vietnam. And I think, if I'm mistaken, it was 20 million gallons of pesticide.
herbicide.
Yeah. And people say, when they say I have Agent Orange, some people correct them and say, no, you don't have Agent Orange, you have complications from it. And there's a lot of veterans that we honor. Like I'm invited down to the VA many times. Sometimes I'm not allowed to share the photography, pictures. And sometimes I am. We get down and they're on their deathbeds, and we get to have the honor of pinning them.
Well, yeah, that is okay. So now we're enlightened as to what that is. I thought it was a defoliant. I do I kind of do a lot of things, and I do some volunteer gardens, and I did put some. I do what I call Newcastle littering. In the fall I plant a lot of daffodils, and so I did plant some by Jackson Park. And this year it's going to be crocuses, and I'm going to try to do some around the memorials in town and a few other places too, charities and stuff like that. I found, but so the term defoliant, like it just means like to just make it just completely drop off all of its leaves. That's a harsh thing. I learned through the newest volunteer gardening project what a lot of the people who put in driveways do. Instead of using a defoliant or something because they don't want the weeds to come back up, they use blowtorch. And so I saw them. It sort of looked like something out of a futuristic like video game or whatever, blowtorching somebody's driveway after they had ripped away the pavement, and then they are putting that stuff down. So yours truly is going to be building a blowtorch at a charitable organization in about a week, to get rid of this one very stubborn thing that doesn't want to go away, but is too heavy for me to pull out. But that's if you do want to defoliate something or get rid of some really pesky weeds or things growing in the cracks of your sidewalk, skip the herbicide, folks. I mean, the birds, the bees, and all the other things out there don't like the nasty
Get
chemicals.
yourself a little rosebud and connect it to a gas tank that you use on a grill when you can burn them things out.
Or else you could be, a former pastry chef and then just take your handy dandy blowtorch that you used to do lemon meringue and zap the weeds with that instead. So not making fun of the Asian artists, just trying to,
But I'd like to also mention too that we have Skill USA from Orange County Career Technical Center. I get corrected on that because I'm an alumni of VOTEC, but they kind of changed the name to LLTC now. And also the Civil Air Patrol. Ashton and his mother is going to be part of our team, going down to push our great veterans around in wheelchairs and help them walk. I also got the ROTC from Newcastle coming in to be chaperones to help our veterans around. And then I also got a video guy and the thing that's going to take pictures and video of it when we're down there. And we're also going to be doing a pinning ceremony for each veteran that's on the bus at their memorial. Like I got 4 Vietnam vets that have never been in Washington, D.C. and never saw the memorial. And so we're going to pin them, and they're going to be part of the ceremony too.
So Ashton, Hugh just mentioned your mom. Now, was your mom in the Civil Air Patrol?
Yes. So after COVID, our squadron was going through some struggles where we only had 2 active cadets and 1 active senior member. And that active senior member's term of command was coming up. So they were ending their term of command, and there was nobody to take the position of commander for the squadron. So the one day I went home and I was talking to my mom. I said, "Hey, my commander's term is about to end, and there's nobody to replace her. The squadron might die because there was only 2 people that might get shut down." And Mercer County there got shut down and merged with us. So it's not like we could have gotten merged with them if we got shut down. And she said if you can get 3 or 4 cadets in one meeting, because there's only 2 cadets, then I would want to take command. And I think I got 5 that very next meeting.
That's awesome.
She joined as command. I got my little brother as friend, and I got the parents. I got my little brother's mom, and then I got his friend's dad in too. So, I got some senior members. I got some cadets.
Nice.
Squadrons, not
How
daddies.
do you do on the auxiliary?
The squadron now sits at 21 cadets and 11 senior members.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's really awesome.
And we're still growing. We still have new cadets and senior members coming in.
That now, how often do you guys get to fly?
So it's actually dependent on the pilot that's in Northwestern PA.
Okay.
So the pilot that is in Northwestern PA is all the way up in Armstrong. And then Butler and Beaver County are in southwestern PA, so it's a really complex border there because we're not really close to a ton of people in southwestern PA, or in northwestern PA, but we're closer to people in southwestern PA.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird division, and the pilot from Armstrong County does do a really good job of getting around and getting everybody their fair share of flights. So they're called orientation flights, and then you go up in the air with the pilot, and they give you control of the airplane and teach you how some of the different dials and buttons and bells and whistles of an airplane work. And then it really sparked an interest in a lot of cadets that are actually in my squadron's aviation education. There's actually a cadet that went on his first O flight and is now a student pilot.
That is
So,
amazing. I did get to meet the folks who run the Newcastle Airport, that little airstrip, and they were wonderful. They gave me a tour of the place and all those the smaller airplanes and stuff. And they have folks there that build them, take them apart, repair them and stuff. And they do have younger people sort of looking on and stuff. And I think it's really great when people mentor the kids. And I should mention, I don't think I mentioned it last episode. Right now we are filming at Game Changer Podcast Studios, and we are actually being filmed by supervised youth in the community. So they are learning the task and all the ins and outs of podcasting back there. And but the mentorship thing is a really important experience for people. Those of us who have a skill or a trade or something, to not only show you, but also, take our hands off and say, okay, now you do it. Ooh.
That's really one of the biggest things that got me sticking with Civil War Patrol after being in it for a while. Because there's only so much you can be educated on, and there's only so much you can do before you're the one educating younger kids. And it's just the fact that I can be so impactful to people that aren't that much younger than me, and I can share so much with them and help them grow as people. It's just an amazing thing to me, and that's why I love doing it so much later in the Civil War Patrol career.
Well, I think also it's not, like a video game simulator or something like that. It's the real thing. And so that's really got to keep you like stoked and excited and stuff, because it's it's not a game. It's the real thing. It's not the same thing as like reading a textbook or something like that. You're actually doing it.
Yeah.
That's great. How old were you when you got to do your first flight?
Actually, I got to do my first orientation ride when I was 13 in June, I think. It was June or July. But I did it.
Not to drive a car.
I learned about flying airplanes before I learned about driving cars. So
That's
awesome.
really
That's really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really great that that whole program exists. I'm so glad that you came down and got to share that with all of us, because I don't think any of us would have known that about you walking in the room, that you actually got to fly and stuff. Well, this is the conclusion of episode 2. I mean, the time flies. It really does. Miss Maggie May is out in the lounge, But so we will, say a fond farewell to her and thank her for coming. And then I want to thank everyone else, of course, for coming and sharing their wisdom and experience with us, and all about veteran services. And I really am thankful that you came today. And
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. We are going to do more podcasts, and to the audience, I say, feel free to reach out to me if you have ideas for themes or speakers or things like that. We're always positive, no politics, and we just want to lift people's spirits, but also have good and informative discussions. So that concludes this episode of the Sidewalk Report on Veteran Services, episode 2. And thank you very much again for watching, and like or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will make more. Okay, thank you.
Hello, and thank you for watching this episode of the Sidewalk Report. Stay tuned and keep an eye out, because we will have more episodes on this and other topics. Questions, thoughts, comments? Do share. I am Dante, and this is the Sidewalk Report.